I'm suing for irreversible, irremediable, possibly irreparable psychiatric damages and for malicious prosecution and intentional infliction of emotional distress.
What is going on? Welcome to Mr. Law School. I am Sammy Goldberg, and right now we are with elegant Elliot Offen. A lot of you might know him from the Howard Stern show, and he is here today because he's going through a legal dispute, and it's a terrible thing that's happening with you, and we want to hear what is going on. What is the story behind this?
Thank you very much, Sam. There's a tragedy. It's a miscarriage of justice. It's a harrowing, grueling, unforgettable nightmare. It's probably one of the worst days ever in my life that I experienced at 4333 Collins Avenue, Miami Beach, Florida, the Holiday Inn Hotel, parent company, the Intercontinental Hotel Group based out of Atlanta, Georgia. They ambushed, bum-rushed, and sandbagged Elliot, myself, put me in jail. You know why? I broke the law, did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Nothing, zero, zip, zilch wrong against the law.
What are they saying you did, though?
Well, first of all, the whole point of this arrest, this unlawful, illegal, unconscionable, and unconstitutional arrest was based that Elliot was dressed as a girl.
So they saw you dressed as a girl in the hotel or outside?
Yes, I was thanks for asking, Sam. I was a fully prepaid, registered, lawfully registered guest, prepaid in advance in a Holiday Inn hotel in Miami Beach at 4333 Collins Avenue.
And you were dressed as a woman?
I was dressed as a girl in my usual girls. Right. That's who Elegant is, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's who Elegant is. I've been doing that for 25 years.
Yeah.
So I came down from the lobby, from my room, and I was headed to South Beach to do some filming.
Uh-huh.
I never got to South Beach. A Latino bellboy ambushed, as I said, bum-rushed, bushwhacked Elegant, and he came running to me. And he said to me with his thumb up, he told me to get out of the hotel and addressed me as fag and maricon. Now the word, if you're not familiar, maricon in Spanish is fag.
How'd that make you feel?
Well, while I was unraveled, uncoiled, a nervous wreck, unglued, he then said to me, if I didn't get out of the hotel, he was going to, can I quote his words exactly?
Sure.
He said that he was going to fuck me up or jack me up if I didn't get out of the hotel. He then, within a matter of seconds subsequent to that, he gave a deafening, crescendoing type whistle to three of his other cronies, bellboys, and they came rushing to me like pit bulls and bulldogs with the same death threats. Get out of the hotel or this time they will fuck me up or lock me up. And again repeating the anti-gay slurs of fag and maricon.
And there were four guys now screaming at you, yelling at you, threatening to beat you up. Did they know you're a registered guest at the hotel?
I told them that, I asked them if they, I was like a nervous wreck, and I said to them, are you like out of your mind? Are you crazy? I'm a registered guest in this hotel. I'm Elegant from the Howard Stern show. And I further put them on notice. I said to them, in the past, years back, I tried to tell them as composed as I can, and I couldn't really keep composed. I was saying, look, I have some psychiatric problems from the past, and please don't make me sick.
Yeah.
Please, I'm putting them on notice of what's going on.
Right.
I'm ill from the past, but thank God I was in remission to that point. So with that, I was, again, so horrified, so terrified, and so petrified, I didn't waste any time. I pulled my cell phone and I called 911.
Okay. And that's a reasonable thing to do. You got four guys wanting to fight.
Right.
Of course you're going to call 911.
Right. So, exactly. So, thank you. So, I called 911, and when the Miami Beach police arrived...
Yeah.
Just before, I just don't want to miss any detail here. Before the Miami Beach police arrived, one of the hotel managers saw that there was people who were yelling at me. So he came over, and he brought security. He didn't know what was going on himself. And unrealistically, again, beyond belief, beyond description, beyond definition, while the security is coming over to investigate, these bellboys are trying to break through security to physically carry out their threats of death against Elegant.
That's terrible.
When the Miami Beach, When Miami Beach police arrived,
Yeah.
the hotel management was somehow able to finagle and bamboozle, and flim-flam and flush
Yeah.
the Miami Beach police into believing that I was not the victim, but I was the violator and the trespasser. So what did they do? They conjured up. How did they do this? They put together a quick, ingenious conspiracy. So they convinced the police that I was disturbing the peace,
Yeah.
that I was dangerous.
You?
Right.
You dangerous?
Right. I was dangerous. I was violent. I was making the guests feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I was detrimental to their establishment. And
You want to walk around like a woman, more power to you. You got to do what you want to do. Screw the rest of these people at the hotel.
unequivocally, categorically, unambiguously, couldn't
Yeah.
be said any better, Sam. Hopefully, in this great country that we live in, and I'm sure the top brass of the world, whether it's Mayor Bloomberg here or anybody that has any common sense, would understand that I, Elegant, have an imprescriptible, you like that word? Impermeable, impenetrable, inalienable, irrefrangible, irrefragable right to be dressed as a girl at any time, any place, anywhere in America.
It's true. Now, isn't it true, though, they thought you were a prostitute?
I don't know, Sam, if that was... I don't know that. They could have thought that. I don't know that.
Okay.
Now, the next thing that transpired after this, the Miami Beach police are locking me up, and I'm in the Dade County Jail. But before I'm taken down to the Dade County Jail, I told the police that, which is a critical part of this whole situation, that I was in psychiatric shock.
Yeah.
And I felt like I was hemorrhaging. I was bleeding internally. You know, you can bleed externally or internally, right? I felt I was bleeding. I felt I was gushing. I felt that all of my past history, because like I had a past history of like, you know, I'm open to the world. I don't hide nothing from Howard or anybody. I had a past history of like obsessive compulsive behavior, hypochondriacal neurosis, but Baruch Hashem, thank God, right? All of that had been healed for 15 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I had felt that all those scars and scabs and lacerations and lesions were sliced open, were diced open, were cut open.
Terrible.
So what did I do? I insisted that the Miami Beach police, before taking me to the Dade County Jail, took me to the Jackson Memorial Hospital. Now, when I got to this Jackson Memorial Hospital, all I was able to determine is that they were there, you know, because we came on a Sunday night. I was arrested, unfortunately, in another inopportune situation on a Sunday night late. There was no, they told me, the doctor said there's nobody from the psych unit. They used the word psych unit here. But they said at the Dade County Jail there'll be somebody in the psych unit. There'll be a psych unit there. So they took me down to the Dade County Jail, and yes, I was isolated and given whatever, they had to give me whatever medication they had to give me, and they put me in a psych unit away from all the hardened, desperado criminals.
Good.
Okay. Now...
And you dress as a woman in jail, they're going to be hitting all over you.
It's right. Exactly. So, fortunately, I was isolated. Now, okay, to try to keep my composure. So, in any event, the charges were so specious, were so fraudulent, were so spurious, right? Were so outlandish, were so outrageous, were so out of whack, that when my case, now they had me locked up, so I have to go back to court, right? So the judge chucked the case. He hurled the case. He threw the case against all the charges against Elegant were dropped, were dismissed.
Good.
Because the judge recognized that there was not one sliver, there wasn't one swath, there wasn't 1 centimeter, there wasn't 1 scintilla of truth behind those allegations, right?
And that's the justice system. They do what they were supposed to.
Exactly.
Yep.
And so I was exonerated, acquitted, exculpated of all these terrible charges.
Yeah.
And then, but that was not the end of my nightmare. From that point on and that point forward until today, I have been besieged and beleaguered and beset with nightmarish, grueling, psychiatric pain and suffering. I don't have to, well, okay, just for a second, just to preempt myself. As soon as the charges were dropped, and as soon as I can get like 10% of a semblance of stability back, I went into Manhattan Supreme Court.
Yeah.
And I filed a $21 million indictment. That's just a euphemism, you know, that's a fancy term for summons and complaint for false arrest, false imprisonment, MP. That's malicious prosecution, IIED, intentional infliction of emotional distress. This is Elegant Elliot Offen, actually known just by one name these days as Elegant. You know, the one name people like Magic and Cher and Madonna, right? And I thank Sam profoundly, eternally, and profusely for having Elegant on the show as a guest, right? And you're watching none other, right? None other than Mr. Law School.